EA Sports brings you a special edition of the National Football League for this New Year's Day matchup. It's the Titans and the reigning NFC champs, and it's coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State in the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction to the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D, as their guys will do battle with the Tennessee Titans. Going alongside my partner, Charles Davis. CD, you're an old-school guy. I know you've got to love our matchup here. Two teams that get after it the old-fashioned way, on the ground.
I love it. You know I love that type of football. You've known me for a while now. We've got the #1 and #2 rushing offense in the entire NFL matching up. Now, don't be fooled. Both of these teams can and will throw the ball in this one. They certainly love playing that game of field position, working between the tackles, chewing up time of possession. And they've each got a main man who's among the best in the league at toting the rock.
Zerline's got it teed up, and off we go from Arlington. And the opening kickoff will not be returned, as that will be a touchback. Here comes the Tennessee offense, and you see Ryan Tannehill leading them out.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets. And bottom line, how do they get a win?
Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down. So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Out of the gun, Tannehill. He's going deep for Brown. And unable to connect, incomplete. But give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Now after the punt on that play, we've got a man down on the field. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. The numbers for Zeke from last week. 22 carries, 80 yards, and a touchdown.
One thing I do know, teams in the NFL don't treat this like a pitcher throwing a no-hitter. It's been mentioned all week.
And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes. Bud Dupree in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. They'll need a big play here, will Dak and the Cowboys. After the sack, it's 3rd and long. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tuck rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward. Incomplete pass. Oh, some strong running. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And it'll be Titan football. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. The crowd maybe losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Second down, they go again with Henry. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line.
Second and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
And some room to roam now. 63 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. Well, that is a running back who is not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the seas opened up for him. They'll try and run for it with Henry. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down. It's second and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Tannehill going to turn and give this to Henry. And he's going to ball his way down to about the 1-yard line. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. This is third and goal now. 80,000 on their feet here in Arlington. Well, he gets attended to. And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. Derrick Henry with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Titans have taken a first quarter lead. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Now Pollard. He takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it to 26. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play.
That too.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on first and 10.
Under 10.
A give to Elliott. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. It's another 10 yards on that one, and another first down. Here's Prescott. A dump off to Elliott. So nothing doing there, and it'll be second and 10.
That's a nice job defensively to make sure everyone was accounted for, because ordinarily you pick up the guys downfield and sometimes you forget about the running back. In this case, they did not and dropped him for no gain.
To throw again on second down. Prescott. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. And this defense going to bring out a couple extra DBs here on 3rd and a yard. Dak going to hand it to Elliott on the option. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. A A much different second drive here, Charles. They go 3 and out the first time. This time they've been able to sustain something downfield.
And that's what often happens. You get the game started. You know, you have to get your footing underneath you. You have to get used to the flow of the game, the speed of the...
Into a sea of defenders have intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. And the Titans are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7. Before we came up to the booth, last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
Andy, do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. That's going to set him back 5 yards. The false start hurts him there a bit. Backs him up to 2nd and 9. After the penalty, it's Henry. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. He's got daylight. He's at the 50, the 30, 10, 5, touchdown Titans. Derrick Henry, his 25th touchdown, tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Titans are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. Extra point by Seibert up and good, and it's now 14-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Now Pollard. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they're in an early hole. First drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
It got his man complete. Touchdown, Cowboys. Amari Cooper, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Cowboys are able to show off their quick strike ability. Dak Prescott, probably not the first name you think of in terms of strongest arms in the NFL, but he showed it off there.
And I'm telling you, nothing will light up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
And his kick is no good. It's an early miss. We'll see if that has any ramifications later here as the afternoon wears on. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
Let's go! Let's go!
Derrick Henry and the rest of the Titans offense about ready to roll again. And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective, how has he gotten there twice? What are we going to do to keep him out for a 3rd time? How do we tighten things down? Because he and his offensive mates, they are really in sync right now.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Again to Henry. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
A throw there, but but that's going to wind up incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession. After one, 14-6 our score on EA Sports. Into the secondary, past the 40. And he'll get this all the way up to the 42-yard line.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 49 yards on the ground for him so far.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47.
Let's go! I like this focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need one. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up two.
He'll take a shot for the end zone. That ball is caught. It's Gallup. Touchdown, Cowboys. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years with the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one. Zerline now for the PAT. And this time he gets it to go as it is up and good. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it's capped off for the Cowboys touchdown. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Here comes Ryan Tannehill now leading his offense back out there. And it's actually been out of the backfield, handing the ball off where they've had a lot of success. So if you're the quarterback, do you just maybe say, you know, maybe this isn't my day, our running game's going so well, you just continue to lean on that?
I agree. That's exactly what you do. And you have to kind of take your ego and put it aside because you always think your next throw is going to be your best throw, right? Your next play is going to be your best play. Lean on what's working for you right now. That should help carry your team to victory if things keep going in the direction that they are.
Yeah, because the formula has them the lead currently. On 2nd and 12, Tannehill. 2 yards on the pickup there. And it'll be 3rd and 10.
Brandon, you know this is going to be discussed because this is the fear of all the backs when they run this type of a route. They've got to find the football, and sometimes they don't see the defender. And in this case, he took a pretty good shot for his efforts, but give him credit, able to hold on to the football.
And he will have a Titans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Here's a run on 1st down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard, 2nd and 11.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them. They did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Meanwhile, Tannehill's throw complete here to his receiver, Brown. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Well, first down run with Henry that time as he maneuvers forward for about 4 yards.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
And that'll set him back 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Draw play. This is Henry. And for one of the few times here today, this one's not going to go anywhere. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. From the 50, it's Tannehill. And that is incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people have to rep.
They're looking for Lamb, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Elijah Molden. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good, and the lead is up to 8. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. On the return, Tony Pollard from his end zone. And this return will net positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Back to it after the pick six. Prescott. Hit as he throws there, incomplete. So, Charles, for this offense, we've been talking all year about how difficult it would be to run the table. And you gave me your chances early in the year. You thought maybe 25%. A few weeks ago, you thought closer to 50, but not quite 50. Now, here they are, 15-0. This is happening, isn't it?
I think it is, Brandon, because I do believe this team is too invested, too well coached to fall asleep at the switch now. And I think it ultimately benefits them to stay engaged all the way through the season because make it to the finish line, then they get the open week to refresh and re-energize. But if you get off the gas now, that can really hurt you come playoff time.
Coming up on 2nd and 7.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Slam, slam. Shit.
The give is to Elliott. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 82 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game. So after a good run by Zeke, another 1st and 10. Now Prescott. Being chased out left. Able to hit his target Lamb. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20.
Oh, he's ridiculous.
I tell you what, it looks like he's shaking off that pick six just fine. It's not just defensive backs that have to have short memories. Quarterbacks utilize that as well. A much more confident throw right there.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. A nice little screen. They get 6 on 1st down. The Cowboys looking to get going again in a hurry. On 2nd down, Elliott. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 1st down now, but the clock continues to move. Now Prescott. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds right at the 3. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Here's Prescott. Touchdown! Dalton Schultz, his first touchdown of the year. And now the Cowboys are within a 2-point conversion position of tying up the game. A little surprising they wouldn't go for two, but this is up and good. And this is now a one-point game. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The time again to see what Ryan Tannehill and the Titans can do. He hasn't had his best day. They have been good running the football, and they have the lead, though, so maybe he just personally wants to improve his play.
And that's without a doubt, because at the end of the game, he wants to feel like he had a really good hand in his team winning, if in fact they do go on and get that done. But the bottom line is finding a way to win the game. So if you're not playing that well, but somebody else is on the team, keep going to that hot hand.
Yeah, not over yet, but looking good here in the second quarter.
Here we go.
The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. On 1st and 10, Tannehill. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack.
Big hit.
Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. 2nd and 16. Another try after the first down sack. Tannehill, room to run past midfield. And finally down at the 32-yard line. A big connection on that one. 31 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. To throw is Tannehill. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Tannehill. He's got his tight end over the middle. That's Ferkser. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 12-yard line. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Tannehill with a play fake to Henry. He'll throw instead. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. Logan Thomas in the final seconds of the first half. And the Titans will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point by Seibert, up and good. And the lead is up to 8. So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away. Now Pollard. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll kick things off with an NFC East battle between two old foes, Philadelphia and Washington. And they've gone to the half with the football team out on top. Cam Newton with a couple of touchdown passes there. From there, we head on over to Wisconsin to check on the Packers at home at Lambeau Field. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Lions. Aaron Rodgers carving them up with 3 touchdown passes. Finally, let's get to Indianapolis. Let's check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And that one's at halftime with them leading the visiting New York Giants. Josh Reynolds, a touchdown catch in that first half. Continuing on, here's a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Titans. And they've had their way running the football, well over 100 yards already as a team with 2 more quarters to come. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they didn't have quite the same kind of success running the football, but still, not bad for one half of play. With both of these offenses having their way, it's not likely they'll need to be doing a whole lot at halftime. But the defenses are definitely in need of some adjusting. And for the call of the second half, let's go back out to Brandon and Charles.
Yeah, Coach, certainly no shortage of action in those first 2 quarters. Definitely got to work on my touchdown calls, so we'll see how much voice I have left for the second half here. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And they trail here to begin the second half. What's going to be a key for them to get back in the game?
I think they're right there, and I think this game is still up for the taking for them because we always talk about turnovers. They had 2 of them in the first half, and once you start talking about if you have 3, 4, or 5, you know it's beyond difficult to try and win a football game with that. Those have to be eliminated. If they take care of the ball, they've still got a shot.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard.
Check. Check hot route. Hot. Swing. Watch that grip. Safety's gripping.
Most of the damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
49. Check 49. Check 13. Check 13. He's crashing. He's checking crash. Check. Crunch.
Run for Pollard. And this carry not as productive. He swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. The tackle was by the Boston College product, Harold Landry.
Hey, 55. Hey, kill. 47. Right there in the middle. 55.
Play fake. Here's Prescott. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Schultz. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he's taken down inside the 30. 115 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Switch. Check 52.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy, and he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does? It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL, and all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Come on, let's go.
It'll be a handoff to Pollard. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll try to throw now. Prescott. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. Who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
Well, let's see. Yeah, the offense still out there. They elect to go on 4th and 11. Prescott. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Cowboys here unable to convert on 4th down. And as a result, it'll be Titan football on the turnover on downs. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Here's Brent Kern now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at the 20. He'll hand it off to Elliott to begin the drive. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. To throw is Prescott. And his throw here is going to be incomplete.
And there's a good opportunity to just want to ride there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. He's got his receiver, Cooper. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
Play action now, Prescott. And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Prescott. He's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 30.
It's funny when I go back to our pregame meeting with Amari Cooper and we mentioned, what if they play man coverage against you? He almost seemed offended by it, didn't he?
I'll beat it. That's basically what it said, right?
I mean, the best receivers we've ever talked to and covered, when you talk about covering them with one guy, they think that's a personal affront. If they can't just beat one defender, then they're not very good.
And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Meanwhile, Dak's throw taken in by Jarwin.
Go, let's go!
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Elliott going to bite off about 7 on that one. A good run on 1st down. Three quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. They go to Elliott again. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2.
Kill! We're going to 53.
Out of the gun, here's Prescott. Open man, Lamb, it's complete. Touchdown, Cowboys!
Here I come!
CeeDee Lamb with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Cowboys have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the 4th. Prescott, they're going to throw for it. And he will get into the end zone for 2 in this game. Now tied here in the 4th. Still time to work with on the clock, but they wanted the tie now, and they got it.
And I love their aggressiveness. Go ahead and get it done, get the game tied. Now your team has the momentum, and you're staring across the field saying, let's see if you can match us.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. Tennessee offense making their way out onto the field as you take a look at the playoff race in the AFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like that use fortnight.
Well, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now to see who can make this last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. The Titans on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Tannehill. He's going deep for Brown. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And the Cowboys are going to take over here up near the 40. Well, we say it often, Charles, but not all interceptions are created equally, and that is a big one here in a tie ball game in the 4th quarter.
And Brandon, when games are this close, it usually comes down to the team making the fewest mistakes, and that was one of our mantras back at Tennessee. Coach Mears used to say all the time, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. You've got to cut those down to give yourself an opportunity.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Well, you don't become a 2-time rushing champion in this league without being able to shed some tackles, and Ezekiel Elliott does just that on this latest run.
And with a guy his size, you have to know defensively that our tackles aren't going to fly with him. You have to be able to wrap up, or else he can just brush tacklers aside like they're not even there.
Kill! 27!
Prescott on 1st down. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. On play action, Prescott. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Jeffrey Simmons has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. A field goal from this spot likely out of the question. They've got to get closer here on 3rd down. Here's Prescott. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Bud Dupree racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Here's Brian Anger now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And he's got to be fired up about that effort. I don't think he could have walked down and placed it any better than where he ended up putting the football. That's excellent.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. Oh, he's got some breathing room. Touchdown, Titans. Derrick Henry, his 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And the Titans have taken the lead. Extra point by Seibert up and good, and they will take a 7-point lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Now Pollard. And able to get this out to the 25.
Let's go, fellas.
So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Escaping the pressure right. Wide open, Amari Cooper. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A big play that time through the air. 34 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Check it back.
They'll run with Elliott. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line.
All day, baby, all day.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Elliott stays on his feet. Shreds him with a stiff arm. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
Switch gear. 36. Jim.
Now Elliott.
Six guys.
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown.
Oh, my goodness.
Ezekiel Elliott. Touchdown number 18 on the year. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Derrick Henry trots back out there and gets ready to go. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice place to live. He might want to make an offer in the end zone for a second home, because that's what it's been like throughout this contest. He knows how to get there, and boy, he looks happy when he does.
He's already bought all the property in the end zone. That's the problem. He's going to sell to himself now. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Here's Tannehill, and he fends him off. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawerence in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. So 3rd and long after the sack. Tough task for Tannehill and the Titans. Back to throw here. He completes it to Julio Jones. And he will have a Titans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. A first down carry for Henry. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a score to break this tie. Tannehill's throw into the hands of Ferguson here. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Tannehill looking in zone for Jones. Open man, Julio. Touchdown, Tennessee. Julio Jones, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Titans answer back with a touchdown of their own to break our tie and take the lead here in the 4th. Important extra point up and through, and they will take a 7-point lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Now Pollard. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. Prescott. Flushed out right. Completes it right side to Cooper. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Prescott. Steps away to his left. And Prescott, his 3rd interception. Picked off by Elijah Molden. And the Titans have just about sewn up this football game. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. 2nd and 11. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them. And
as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Titans, they get the critical victory to move them to 9-7 now.